Welcome back. It's time for the divisional draft show. If you weren't here for Phase 1's kickoff tournament, essentially what's going to happen now is we're going to take our two winning teams, the captains for those teams, and they're going to draft who they want to be in the opposite division of them. That will play out for the regular season. It'll be best of fives all through there. And if you're in your division, teams that are in the same division will play each other twice over the course of the regular phase. Out of division matchups will only be once. It's very similar to our Phase 1. The main difference being is that it's going to be best of fives instead of the best of three, and also that the two winning captains will be deciding the full draft this time through, as opposed to last time it was, let's say, Team A picks who they want to be in the opposite division, then that team picks who they want to be over there, and it zigzags, but it's going through all the different teams where I think at the very end it was like the Ravens just kind of got set there and said, oh, well, hey, the Ravens are over here at this point, so we'll get to now kind of see where the captains put most of the onus in, because remember, got to play twice inside division, once out. We want to maybe put some of the strong opponents in your division to get yourself some good practice, but maybe not the strongest ones. That way you give yourself maybe a better chance towards that path to Worlds, Mifflin.
TLDR, it's not a snake draft, it's a captain draft. That's exactly how it goes. It's just going to be the captains choosing whoever they want to play against. I don't know. I don't know how this one goes down. It feels like all these pro players have very different mentalities on how they want to approach it. Me personally, I love easy games. That's what I would be looking for. But considering the captains of these teams, it seems like they're all true competitors. They're not like me. They don't want free stuff.
And speaking of, we've got the captains for both of the teams, PBM for the Dragons, Panatom for the Warriors, standing by with Gormizer as we kick this draft off.
That's right, and since the Warriors won, first off, congratulations on the win already. We didn't have the post-game interview. And then immediately we can jump into the divisional talk, which is we have Order and Chaos before. And I know last time, Phase 1, we were going to throw you guys into Order, and I remember it was a pretty big deal. So now you actually have the choice. So what division do you want to be in?
We're going Chaos.
Chaos one more time for the Warriors, Mike. That means that you will be on the Order side. And the good news is that means that you don't have to fight these guys again for a little while, depending on how you feel about that, I guess. And so, similar to last time, you two are going to be separate. You're going to play only once throughout this phase, as the desk said. And the way this is going to work, very simply, every time, let's say, Panatom gives a team, it's going to go over towards Mike's division and vice versa. So, Panatom, you get first of all the teams there listed at the bottom. And then as a bonus little spice for you and for the people out there, whatever team you choose here is also going to be the first matchup that the Dragons are going to have this phase. So a little bit of extra power out there for you.
I have to choose?
You have to choose.
My first choice is going to be Levi's.
The Leviathans thrown over there. Which means, Mike, up first and foremost. Now you know you're going to be playing the Leviathans relatively soon, right? A couple weeks from now. But how do you feel about having them in your division?
So good. I hate Max and Alec. They are both horrible players, absolute trash. So it'll be nice to just absolutely obliterate them and do not clip this when I lose.
Yeah, so in the future, nobody remember this. It's not going to be clipped. It's definitely not going to be coming up on the podcast after this at all. No discussion. You get the same power team that's going to go over there. And as long as I remember correctly, it's actually also going to be their first matchup for the Warriors in this next phase, the Road to Worlds phase. So what team are you thinking that, A, you don't want and you want to stick on them?
We're going to give them the Ravens.
The Ravens, which is interesting. So the Ravens, if I remember correctly, last time did go last. What about the Ravens maybe stands out to you as too powerful?
They're all just my really good buds, and I felt bad for them being last picked last time. I think Hurry deserves better, so yeah.
You just wanted to elevate them there. Panatom, for you, how does it feel now knowing that the Ravens are going to be a team you have to take on twice?
I mean, it's going to be hard. I think they are like really good screen partners, and they try hard like a lot in SPL, so it's tough. It's a good selection.
It's definitely good, and I can hear, based on that you were probably really hoping to send them to the other side, because scrim partners even came up. Yeah. But now they're in your division. As the teams dwindle, the question now comes back to you. What team are you throwing over towards Mike again?
We are sending the Ferryman.
The Ferryman. Again, another strong contender, as we've seen. And Mike, it's first off, a buddy that you're going to have to go up against now on a roar constantly, but a very strong team to have to deal with. How's it feel knowing, Leviathan's Ferryman, it's looking like a pretty stacked division so far.
Yeah, I mean, I can say the strat now because I figured this is what it would be. I think last split, we all did like, if you want to scrim a team, you put them to the other side. I kind of want regular season games to be tough because the best of fives, I think, are good practice. So I'm trying to get a stacked group So I'm going to ask you, do I want him to give me the Kings as well? That's the question. Like, am I making a death?
So wait, I'm now drafting for your team? So do you want him to have the, like, now I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to play the field here. I've never been put in a place where I needed to make a choice before. It feels like it'd be kind of stacked. How would you feel about if you had to play the Kings? Would you like that or hate that?
I mean, I will. It like doesn't matter to me, honestly.
Hold on.
Oh, never mind. He's taking it back.
I actually want my pick. Grudge match, Kings versus Genetics. Got to do it. Grudge match. It's theirs. Grudge match.
This guy, he understands storylines, baby. We're going to be talking about it all phase long. It's never going to happen.
I'm not kidding. I just decided that right now. It's a grudge match. You got to do it for the fans.
Got to do it. And as we saw, it can create some interesting matchups. So, Panatom, despite the illusion of choice, as things always happen, it ended up getting stripped away from us. How do you feel now about having to go against the Kings as well as the Ravens? We said it for your group, but I feel like you've got a pretty stacked group as well.
Yeah. I like having the Kings because Genetics is gonna try hard. Like every time we play against Kings, he's gonna practice like so hard in scrims. He's gonna try so hard. So I like that. I like the pickup.
Keeps your team grinding, right? It's going to keep everybody in the right zone. But now you have the opportunity to round out the order division. What's the last team you're throwing over there?
We're sending the Hounds.
And the Hounds will be the final of the order division. Another strong team, as we saw. This week, you guys actually had a pretty easy opportunity against them. Nice 3-0. But as time went on, they got to be incredible. They were the team prior to you guys who faced them in the semis, took them to 5. So was that part of the decision? What about the Hounds made you want to get them away?
I just think the Hounds are really good screen partners too. We are not being like that screen with them, but they always like try hard, and I like that. And I think they will be like, they put a lot of effort on SPL games. So I don't know, and I kind of prefer to have Glads on my group. So.
I'm going to ask before I go back over to Mike, what is it about the Glads like that you like having in there for your group to round things out?
I just think I don't want to be mean. I mean, they should be a free win, but.
And for anyone who couldn't catch it, I don't know how well the mic did. Miv did egg that on immediately. Oh yeah, did you catch that? Did you pick it up? Okay, I'm sorry I questioned your hearing. That's on me. That was a really rude thing to do while you're standing right next to me. I'm really sorry about that, Mike.
I am Mike. Yeah.
Miff said, do it, call him out, be mean. And then immediately did say it should be a free win. Mike, you have the Hounds in your division. Now that you can see all 4 of the teams, how are you feeling about the phase coming up?
I mean, I know I have a lot of haters nowadays, and I get it for sure. But I mean, look at what I've sort of curated for you. Like, look at this experience I'm gifting you. Like, double grudge match on the Warriors, Jake and the Kings. Are you kidding me? And then on my side, it's me versus Fino K and Panda Cat, and I get Neil Ma in our group. He beat us twice at Worlds Defense. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
I'm honestly kind of taking notes, like mentally. This is going to come up in a few weeks, and you guys are maybe going to hate it. You might hate it because we're going to use it. I'll make sure I'll put an asterisk from PBM. It'll be mentioned every single time. You can credit where credit's due. But those are going to be the 2 divisions. And I'm just really excited to see what exactly these 2 teams or these 2 groups are going to be. Just a reminder, you will still see everybody in the other group one time, right? So it's not like you're never going to play again. It's just going to be once, double round robin inside your group. And so, Panatom, I guess final thoughts on this weekend, your group, and going forward in phase 2.
I don't know. I'm just really proud of how are we playing. I think we met really fast. We have 1 week of scrims, and we are doing really well mentally and in skill. So I really like it.
It'll be fun mentally, as Panatom has said, as Mike has pointed out. Mike, same for you. Thoughts on this weekend and thoughts on the phase going forward and everything.
Yeah, it was fun. I love playing best of 5. It's always a chance to learn. And honestly, today, massive W. They've used all of their storyline juice. It's all out. So the hero main character arc. It's slowly draining from the Warriors. Mainly from Genetics. Everyone hates that guy. So it's great. It's great.
It's great. Also worth mentioning, I believe after this you are doing a podcast. Are you having guests come on with you and Aurora?
Yeah, we have Sot, who both Aurora and I hate. There might be chairs flying. So it'll be a good time. Yeah, on Aurora.
And for reference, that's filmed here. I know the room you're going to be in. Chairs flying in there. It's not big, so that's actually a pretty big feat. You want to make sure that you're tuning in and watching that on their Twitch channels when you get the opportunity. But for myself and Panatom and Mike, that's going to close it out. You got our groups. We'll go back to the desk to close it out.
So there we have our 2 divisions for Phase 2 and the Road to Worlds here for the SPL. Should be a very fun one, at least over, as Mike points out, in the Chaos division. A lot of storylines, a lot of grudge matches that could come from over there. You have Jake, Genetics kind of jumping over into that little fray over there. So should be a very fun phase of SPL, Mifflin.
It should be. And the draft goes essentially, I think, as most people would have expected. Send over the highest competition as quickly as possible. I thought maybe Mike would give us some of that spice of life and that he wanted the Death division with the Camelot Kings jumped into them. That would have put the Gladiators and the Hounds in chaos. But also just having the narrative storylines of all those grudge matches, something that I think gives a little bit more zest to the Chaos division. I'll be paying extra special attention there.
Well, one thing that we can actually take a look at, as mentioned, we kind of knew who the first day's matches are going to be, but now we have a full schedule for Week 1 of Phase 2. It all kicks off on Friday, the 22nd of this month. Oni Warriors, Highland Ravens, Jade Dragons, Atlantis Leviathans will be our first matchups. Then we'll have the Warriors and the Hounds, Gladiators and the Dragons on Saturday. And then Sunday, the Ravens and Kings and Leviathans Ferrymen. To round out week number 1, as mentioned, it's 2 matches a day, best of 5 for every single match here in the regular season. So plenty of Smite action to be had on every single one of those days. And I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, this will take place over the course of 7 weeks of play to go through all of these matchups, so we have plenty of Smite ahead of us.
Yeah, so essentially it's a 1-week break, and then we're right back into Smite, right back into the regular flow of things. We know you guys have been clamoring for a little bit more competitive action, but unfortunately for you all, we want one more week for ourselves. You know, just go hit the beach, sip some pina coladas.
Gonna have a little bit of a downtime here after this weekend so we can get ready for the new season, and we'll be hot on our trails for phase number 2 of the SPL and the Road to Worlds. So make sure that you don't miss out on it. Again, that all starts on Friday, September 22nd, when phase 2 will kick off. But that's it that we have for you this week. On behalf of myself, Mifflin, and all the other casters and everyone behind the scenes, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in phase 2.